Hey guys, welcome to Danger Zone. So we're back at the marina, just sort of pointing in a different direction. And you can see that once again we're up against one heck of a tower. But a couple of things have changed, and it wouldn't be a coin pushing show if I didn't have some complaining to do to start. Previous videos that you've probably seen, and if not, why not? Go watch them. Came to the attention of the owner's lawyer, who said, "Look, you want to have a small coin pushing operation going on? That's fine. That's fine. But the level you guys are doing it, this is gambling. This is illegal gambling. And not only are you doing illegal gambling, for actual money and large amounts, but you're putting out videos of evidence that you're gambling." And he said, "So you're going to have to work something else out." And so we talked for a little while, and he said, "Look, lawyers said it was fine if you were playing for free food. I mean, I already have $3,000 on an account here, but from now on, whatever I win would just go into that account. And so essentially, he wouldn't be paying me in money, he'd be paying me in calamari, he'd be paying me in linguine with clam sauce, and oh my God, the lobster ravioli here is amazing." So, did I mention it's a seafood place? It's a seafood place. I actually love the food here. Don't tell him I said so. Playing for food, I'm all for it. It works fine for me. But I had one problem, which is, okay, what happens if I lose? Do I still have to pay you real cash? And he says, "Well, you have $3,000 on account now." And I said, "Yeah, but you know how these games can get. What if I lose more than $3,000? Do I have to pay you cash? And are we back to gambling?" He said, No. I know what your day job is. So, tell you what, if you lose, then we'll work something out for your day job." And I said, "My day job? You could never afford it." And he said, "Well, that's the point. If you lose, then you give me some professional services. If I lose, I give you my professional services of providing food." And my lawyer says, "That's not gambling." Okay, what his lawyer says goes. So I said to him, "Okay, so you want to be part of, you need help from my day job. Just how much meth do you want me to produce? I mean, are you going to be selling it? Is it going to be an appetizer? What's going on?" And he said, "Quit kidding around. I know you don't make meth." I said, okay, you found me out. I don't make meth. Okay, so the question is, who do you want me to kill? And he said, "John, just quit joking around, okay? I'm in enough trouble already. I don't want, you're going to do a video in which I'm hiring you to kill people?" And I said, okay, what do you want? And just to bore you, I'm a marketing consultant, so he would need some marketing services. Like, it was my idea to show you a different angle on his restaurant, so that he's not just looking out at a boat in the marina. He's actually looking at your buffet spread or something. And he said, "So that's it. If you lose, you owe me a certain amount in professional services after you use up the $3,000. If you win, it goes on account here, and you can use it for food." So apparently, just so everybody knows, it's not illegal to be paid off in oysters. Okay, you just can't be paid off in cash. We live in a weird world. There's a strip club down the street. That's no problem. But a couple of guys playing for cash, that's a problem. Sorry, I said oysters. It made me think strip club. I'm a sick, sick man. Anyway, so what do we have today? We have, supposedly it's 7 different towers, but it's really just one big tower. There are these on the side with like 500 and 100 chips on them. And these on the other side with the same. Then we have the biggest tower he's set up yet, because he apparently, I'm going to fix the camera so you can see a little better. Because apparently now he builds coin towers for meditation or something. Whatever. Anyway, supposedly, and I say supposedly because I don't really trust him, supposedly the entire center of this thing is filled up with those little capsules, and inside each little capsule there's a gold bar that counts as 5 grams of gold. How many little capsules? He wouldn't tell me. That's why maybe I think it's only a few. I don't know. But, and here's the kicker, we play differently here. Normally, I keep whatever I knock off. Right? That's how you play this game. Playing here, I only get to keep what I win. Or actually, I don't even win it. I only get to keep what I knock off if I knock down all the towers. If I don't knock down all the towers, anything I knock off, I owe him. Now, it used to be in cash, now it's professional services. Just to be clear, I was joking. You guys are going to have to look somewhere else for your meth. And if you want somebody killed, have some gumption. Do it yourself. No, I'm kidding. Don't kill anybody. They don't kill anybody. They really don't like it. People don't like it when they're killed. Their neighbors and relatives complain. You wind up arrested. You wind up going to jail. In Texas, you wind up executed one way or another because they just like to kill people, I guess. And that's basically it. You can't really see the backfield, but that's okay. It's all quarters. Trust me, it's just quarters. So that's fair. And I have 4 of these. I decided, I could be lazy, and I am a lazy man. So I have 4 of these. Here's 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. Trust me, I have 4 of them. And I guess that's it. So I might as well stop talking and start playing. You know me, so you know that no talking part will last about 3 minutes. If you're lucky, maybe 30 seconds. So, let's go, man. Let's hit the big one. Oh, as for timing, they're having trouble with the Wi-Fi. Fortunately, I'm just recording. As I was saying, as for time, I have till I'm getting no quarters back. I can just keep playing as long as the quarters keep coming back. It's set up to deflect the quarters into the dealer's holes, which I call the stealer's holes on the side. so the quarters won't last forever. But that said, here we go. Welcome to Danger Zone at the Tower of Fire, because that's supposed to be a volcano. So this is Danger Zone at the Tower of Fire. Something like that. Here we go. Okay. So my mother is 93 years old, and I just want you to think for a second about, being 93. So she spent Monday through Wednesday doing what most 93-year-old women do, which is being on the board of a public service foundation and going to all-day meetings and after dinners to discuss the future, to meet with one of the people who they give grants to, among which, by the way, is shelters and catch and release programs for feral cats. This is not necessarily my mother's choice. She is not a big cat fan. She has disliked them, but she's not really into them. I said, occasionally I'll say, Mom, if you don't listen to me about your health, I'm going to get you a cat. And she said, please don't. It's like, who wouldn't want a cat? But okay. So that's what my 93-year-old mother did. Functioned at the top level of foundation monitoring, or whatever boards, you call what boards do, of decision making. And did she come home exhausted? No. Did she come home tired? No. She came home joyous and exhilarated. Because my mother retired from the law twice. Once she retired from running the probates court in New York City, and one of the little lava balls is that's what they are. They're lava balls. Is about to fall, or it's at least wiggling, and those towers on the side are starting to come down. Which it's good because I want towers to come down, but not great because they have about $700 on each one, and I won't know for quite a long time whether they're mine, whether they're my lobster ravioli or his marketing services, because that's not gambling apparently. But just to be clear, I'm right, he could never afford me if it weren't for this. So that's fair. And his place, the food in his place is really good but very pricey, so I'm happy to make that exchange. Besides, I don't have to give him good marketing advice, I just have to give him marketing advice, right? I could say, the guy across town who does pretty much the same thing you do, you should double your prices. Because that way everyone will think your food is even better. Which is terrible advice. You don't necessarily want to cut your prices, and you don't necessarily want to be the lowest price in town. I know that surprises people. But people will think that anything a little pricier is better. So you can get away with charging more for the same thing. If you have cloth napkins, for example, like this place does. Okay, there's a tower on the left is starting to come down. Let me see if you can see that a little bit better. I lift the camera. Okay. Tilt it down a bit. Yeah, there you go. Okay. You don't really need to see the backfield that much anyway. There's nothing there. Well, yeah, you can see a bit of his buffet poking out. But on the left side over here, that one looks like it's going to come down. Since we're filming without the front plate, because last time all you got to see was the reflection of me in this outfit. Well, not all. That you could see the thing. And I'll post a link to the previous videos up here in the comments. But the towers on the left and right do seem to be moving and coming down. Oop. See, it fell. It started to fall, but it was caught by the... It started to fall, but it was caught by the other one, so it's not down. So let's see what happens. I'm just really surprised at how fast the big tower in the middle is moving up. Oh, a tower is down, but nothing has come off yet that I want to come off, because all the chips fell into the back, which is not unusual. So I just have to, keep playing so I can clear everything out. And get it out of the way so something can come down. Right now, I still have 3,000 in credit, and I still owe him nothing. So a smart man would quit now, but unfortunately, outside of marketing, I'm not a smart man. Okay, just to keep you all in the loop, I'm down 1 cup. Second wave? No. Okay. Okay. So, shot number 2. Oh, and my wife's really something too. She's autistic, though not as impaired as my son. She's fully verbal. Boy, is she fully verbal. Trust me, if she gives you an earful, you will not have any questions about whether or not she's a verbal person. But they used to think that autism was something that only happened in boys. Or happened much more often in boys, or something like that. It was a boy thing. Still just chips, and now the it looks like the other you can't quite see. Let me see if I can. Yeah, right back here you can see that the valued chips are heading for seem to be heading for the Steelers holes. So that won't help anybody. So my wife who was a well-known autism advocate and special needs advocate. She was asked to participate in a study of autistic women. And she said, and we'll pay your, cover all your expenses. Not that the expenses from New York to Pittsburgh would have killed us, but it was nice of them, because we're having so much trouble finding, girls and women to participate. And then they do their usual, background check thing and talk to her parents. Oops, that went down and they fell backwards again. Okay. And are heading straight for the dealer's hole again. Maybe we'll go through this whole thing and nobody wins anything. Anyway, you and I get to have this chat. So my wife was rejected from the study because they didn't believe she was autistic. And she, who is very definitely autistic, called them up and basically said, what do you mean I'm not autistic? I've been obsessed, up the wazoo. I'm autistic. And they said, well, would you mind going to this person and being obsessed one more time? And this time she was assessed by the person who developed the first clinical test to see if you follow this, if you were autistic. It was again, my wife said it was great to meet her because, I'd heard about it for years. Anyway, they talked for about 15 minutes. And this person said, you're autistic, let's stop wasting both our time. Why don't we just talk for the next 40 minutes, because there's no question here. And Carol was fine with that. It was cool. It's like talking to, someone who's a big name in her field. And so Carol called back and said, let me tell you what's the problem with your whole research methodology. Because my wife, Louisa, the quarter one is starting to come down. That's amazing. I'm going to have to do a clean out soon. And she basically said, let me tell you what's wrong with your whole study. You are not allowing for the fact that autism presents differently in girls and women than it does in boys. So it's not surprising that you can't find any autistic girls using a write-up and an assumptions that were made up for boys. It's sort of like, she didn't say this, this is how I would have put it. It's sort of like, you're saying we want to do a study of girls, but they all have to have a penis. So she said, could you have one of the people who are actually, I know you're a graduate student, I don't mean to give you hell, and I know you didn't design the study, but could I talk to the person who did design the study? And she said, sure, because my wife's going to be very scary. She's only 5 feet tall, but I got to tell you, she can scare the pants off you, especially when she's pissed. In the advocacy community, she's called the pit bull of Brooklyn, or the iron fist wrapped in a velvet glove kind of thing. So she talks to them and says, girls, more quarters. Okay, I'm going to have to clean up, but I'm going to, you know what? As is my habit, I'm going to keep talking. So she, now I'll have to sort them out after I get them out. I got something, there's a 100 here, that's That's good or bad, depending on whether I can knock this down. But no, I'm not going to jinx it this time. I'm not going to say, well, you know what I'm going to say. And say, well, gee, it looks like it's coming down. And it looks like I'm shaking the camera again. Okay. Anyway, so she says to look. You need to go into this with a different mindset. You need to understand that just as neurotypical girls play differently than boys, they're more social than boys, they talk more than boys. The same is true with autistic. An autistic girl is much less likely to be nonverbal, for example. So if they're talking, if they're doing imaginative play with their dolls, it doesn't mean they're not autistic. But they may have other of what are now, what did you hear this called? Spiked skills, which means very good at some things, not good at other things. But they're a different array than the usual autistic boy. So you're going to have to redesign your frickin' study and then try again. And they said, okay, we have no choice but to accept that you're autistic now because the head biggie in diagnosing autistic people has said you're autistic. So, by our study rules, we have to accept you're autistic. And after this conversation, while we'd like to have you come down and participate in the study, we really have to meet you. So she goes to the University of Pittsburgh and she sits down with these people. And when she's not pissed and in person, my wife comes off as the sweetest thing. Or, not that she's not a sweet person, because she's going to see this video, and if I don't say something, I'll be in trouble. She's a very sweet person, but even when she wants to, how did she put it? Even when she wants to bang your head against the wall, she will say, oh, yes, but isn't there another way to look at it? When what she really means is die, 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 die. And she's just really great at that. I'm still cleaning out. That's how much came down. And on the upside, the quarters are coming down. And even better, so far they're not exploding all over the floor. So I'm going to do what I do for good luck, and I'm going to refill cups I was already given. And here's the first cup. So I have almost... Sorry, I had to scratch my face. Get your mind out of the gutter. Why do I even put up with you people? Anyway. And she goes through the test, and then they sit down and they go through, and between the two of them, they rewrite the guidelines